Hi, welcome back. I'm Susan Patang from the Quiet Zone Coaching, and today we're going to talk about unparalyzing yourself, getting yourself motivated again. You've heard me talk before about how divorce is like stepping into an emotional blender and somebody hit grind. You know what I'm talking about if you're in it. So while we're in the process of a divorce, we start to have those really intense emotions. Okay. Everything's all scrambled up together and they're very intense. Okay. And the feelings that we have can paralyze us. We might feel angry. We might be afraid. We might be sad and depressed. We might be unsettled or just overwhelmed by everything that needs to be done. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you two strategies to get unparalyzed. So the first one has to do with dealing with the emotion, okay? Because while we're overwhelmed with these horrible emotions, these negative emotions that are holding us back from living our life and getting things done that need to get done, like put the kids on the bus and go to work and make dinner, those overwhelming emotions need to be reined in so that you can get back in the driver's seat. So that's the first thing that we're going to do is teach you how to do that. The second thing that we're going to do is I'm going to give you some motivational tips, how you can start to motivate yourself to do what you have to do and get done what you have to get done. And that's what I do. I'm a stress management coach. I work with people not only who are getting divorced, but also people who are just stressed out from life or from COVID or looking for a new partner or whatever that might be. So we'll talk more about that later. The first step is to use what I call the ILIO method, ILIO. Identify, label, isolate, and observe. Okay, so this is how you do that. Those negative emotions are super, super intense, right? And they're the black cloud that surrounds you and overwhelms you and eats you up, and you're stuck in this emotion. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we got to shrink it down. So we're going to identify and label. So I'm feeling angry because, I'm feeling sad because, I'm feeling despair because, I'm feeling disjointed because my life has been thrown up in the air. You see where I'm going with this. So you want to identify and label that emotion. So what you've done is you've taken it from the big black cloud and shrunk it back to the size of a label. It's a lot more easy to manage that way, isn't it? The next I-L-I-O is isolate. So what you're going to do is you're going to identify, label, and isolate. So where in your body do you feel it? When you're feeling these intense emotions, usually there's one place or another where you feel it. Okay, so you might feel it in your chest or your tummy, or your shoulders might feel tense, or your head might hurt, your jaw, you might clench your jaw. So everybody's different. You might feel it in a different place. You might be tense all over. If you can't find it, then pick a spot. Okay, pick the tip of your finger if you have to, but isolate it. Okay, so you want to kind of put a bubble around it so that it does not spread all over your body and overwhelm you. Okay, again, we're taking the big honking black cloud and shrinking it down. And we're going to isolate it. Now, we don't want to push it away, and we don't want to squash it or ignore it or no, it's not there, la, 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 because if you do that, you're going to turn into a volcano later. Okay, you might have already had that experience, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, identify and label, isolate, and now we're just going to observe it. We're just going to watch it. Okay, let it be there. And you can tell yourself, this is what it's like to feel whatever that emotion is. This is what it's like to feel angry. You're allowed to have these emotions. Okay, a divorce is a very stressful, uncomfortable thing. You are allowed to feel that way. The problem arises when it paralyzes you and you can't drive, you can't do the things that you need to do. So we're just going to watch it. Okay, so watch it for a few seconds. Okay, so here it is. I'm keeping it right here. I'm just holding it there. It's just staying there. I'm not going to push it away. I'm not going to squish it down. I'm not going to ignore it, but I'm not going to let it take me over either. Okay, I'm not going to let it become that black cloud. Identify, label, isolate, and observe. Just watch it. Okay, eventually it will start to dissipate. Go back to doing what you need to do. Okay, there is going to be a time when you are going to have to take that emotion out and pick it apart and work through it. That's not what we're doing today. What we're doing today is we're just getting unparalyzed, unstuck, and we're moving forward. Okay, so that's how you do it. ILIO. The next step that I want to give you is to motivate yourself, get yourself moving. Okay, so the first step to motivation is to remember that moving and being motivated to do something does not come from position 0, which is where I am right now, sitting on my butt. Okay, if you are stuck to your bed or your chair or wherever it is, you're in position 0. You're not going to be able to motivate yourself. Motivation comes from movement. So get up and do something. It doesn't necessarily have to be the thing that you need to do, but get up and do something. Get up and get a cup of coffee, go look out the window, go to the bathroom, but start moving. Okay, go from position 0 to position 1. Okay, and then look at the task that you have to accomplish. So let's say that task is get the kids on the bus. So instead of looking at get the kids on the bus, okay, remember the big, horrible black cloud of a task. It seems horrible. Break it down into bite-sized bits. So, well, the first thing you have to do is wake them up. Okay, so go wake them up and then go make breakfast and then go whatever it is that you do in the morning. Break that task down. Do not worry about the other steps. Focus on the one that you are doing right now. If you are still having problems getting yourself to motivate, think of the benefit to doing it. Why are you doing it in the first place? Okay, well, I have to get the kids to school or there's going to be a problem and I'm going to have to deal with them all day long and I won't be able to go to work. So yeah, you know what? I got to get up and get these kids moving. Okay, another benefit that you can bring to mind always whenever you're trying to get yourself moving is to remember the example you're setting for your kids. You don't want them, when it comes to children, you don't want them to see you falling apart, okay? Because that is setting an example for them. You are their role model. They don't know any different. They know only what their parents show them, okay? That's how they think life is supposed to be. So when somebody has a really bad experience, like a divorce and a separation or whatever might be happening, they're going to think, well, this is what happens when a bad thing happens to you, you fall apart. Okay, that's what human beings do because they see you doing it. Don't give them that example. You can use that as your motivator. And when you accomplish each one of those small bits that we talked about, each one of those small steps, I want you to use what I call a life mantra. Okay, and you can use these to reinforce good behavior. What you're doing is you're retraining your subconscious to get you through the day. Okay, so the mantra that we would use in this situation is, wow, that was easier than I thought. Remember the staples button? Bang, that was easy. Okay, I imagine myself hitting the staples button whenever I get something done that is actually easier than I thought it was going to be. So, hey, you know what? I'm going to get up and get myself coffee. Okay, so now the kids have to get on the bus. That's the first task, you know, the first chore. So how do I break that down? All right, I got to get them up. Then I got to get breakfast in them. And then I'm going to get them on the bus before I jump in the shower. Bam. Okay. Broken this down into bite-sized bits. I'm not thinking about getting in the shower now. I'm thinking about getting them up. Okay, that's all I'm focused on right now. And I'm telling myself, this is easier than I thought. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm setting a good example for them. And I'm showing them how tough I really am and how tough they can be too. Okay. If you like everything that you've heard today, I invite you to join me on my website. I have this awesome blog and it's all full of stuff like this that you can read. What I want to do is I'm going to put the link to it down in the comments of the video. Okay. But for now, what I want you to do is go to www.thequietzonecoaching.com/mantra. And what that is it's all about life mantras and how you can use them to get through tough days in one piece, whether or not you're going through a divorce. That's what I do. I help people get through tough days in one piece, no matter what's happening in their life. So I welcome you to come and look at that article. It's just a blog post, take you 5 minutes to read, but print it out and just try it and see how you do with it. I guarantee you're going to love it. Until the next time, I'm Susan Patang from the Quiet Zone Coaching. Namaste.